Hello and welcome. On this episode of Abby Normal Garage, we brought in the USS Brandon. Are you not fond of the name? Easy. 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 You don't like the USS Brandon? Well, apparently her and I are going to fight over the name. But this is going to be the USS Brandon, whether she likes it or not. Do you not like the name USS Brandon? She does not like it. Well, at least we know you're not a Democrat. Stop. Hey, we'll name it the USS Abby. Are you okay with that? We're not going to say out loud this boat's name because we don't want to get mauled by our Connie Corso. But anyway, the plan for this boat is we want to build us a jack plate to put on the back. And we're also going to build us some of them nice transom wheels that you flip down and you can roll this thing around with the handle in the bow. Now, the reason we want to do the jack plate is we live on a river. We're going to go ahead and call it Schiff's Creek for YouTube's sake. But it's pretty shallow in a lot of spots. And the one time we took this boat out, the trolling motor hit the back of the boat when it was in the down position, so we had to run it like really tilted up, and it really didn't work that well. So we're going to build a 6-inch jack plate that'll hopefully fix that problem. But not only that, when we do put a gas motor on this boat, if we set it 6 inches further back, it'll actually enable us to run the motor up higher because the water comes off the back of the boat and starts going upward. So a lot of people run jack plates to where you can run the motor higher, which means it'll hang less below the bottom of the boat, which will also help us in the river. And my brother-in-law, Billy Bob, he's got the fastest boat on the whole dang river. And we want to give him a run for his money. And we think we can do that. So what we got here is some 1/4-inch aluminum, 1.5 by 1.5. It's 50-52 is the alloy. And here we've got some 1.5-inch box. This will make the legs to our transom wheels. Now on the bench, I was digging around at the metal shop scrap pile and found a really good piece of 1/4. And I had them shear me 2 pieces that are 15 by 6. So this will give us our 6-inch setback and our height. Now, I've already started drafting this out. Let me go ahead and flip this over. We're going to drill a hole here and a hole here, a hole here and a hole here. And we're going to create slots. That'll enable us to move this up on this side 6 inches. And then on the back side, we'll make a slot so it's 2 inches. So we're going to go ahead and cut pieces of angle aluminum, the 1/4-inch you saw on the boat, to go behind this on both sides. So you'll have a piece on this side, a piece on this side, and this piece will be an exact duplicate of this one. So this side will bolt to the boat. This side will bolt to this plate that I had sheared. Here's a mid-project update. We got these 3/8 holes drilled all the way around. We're going to go ahead and use our air saw and connect these. But as you can see, it's a messy affair. Well, anyway, this air saw is going to take the longest, so we're going to get back to it. Well, here we are, concluding the first day of working on the USS Brandon. We got our slots cut. Now we're going to take a straight edge and mark that outer edge and draw a line so we know how much we got to shave off with the carbide cutter. I think Abby's grown used to the name USS Brandon. She's not getting nearly as excited about it, so I think we're good. Well, Abby, it's day 2 working on the Brandon. You don't look very excited. I guess you still don't really like the name, do you? We're at the hardest part probably of this entire project, I think, and that's making these slots work. So we're using a combination of tools here. So we're going to go ahead and show you a montage on how to do that. So if you're ever in this situation, you know what to do. We first use our carbide cutter here with an aluminum burr to smooth out the really high spots in between the holes we drilled. You should probably wear gloves when you do this. We never learn. We like picking splinters. We then transition to our 5-inch air sander. This has a very thin arbor on it and is able to fit the slots. We did use the 3-inch air sander in a couple spots. We then decided to use our air-powered chamfering tool to put a nice bevel on the edges of the slots. This gives it a finished look. Here we are using the Turkish method, where you drill a bunch of holes and then connect them with a saw. This speeds up the air saws dramatically and helps to cut. Now we're going to go ahead and smooth over the rough spots with our grinder and put the finishing edge on with our chamfering tool. Just like that. Well, Abby, I think we're going to take a moment and get our bench cleaned back up, and we'll come back. Here's how it's going to kind of look. This is the part that the outboard motor is going to clamp to, and this is the side that's going to go to the boat. So tomorrow, we need to cut angle iron so we can bolt this plate to this. Same thing over here, that plate to that. And then we'll cut the angle iron also for the back piece, so it'll have a flange to bolt to the boat. So that's going to be the plan for tomorrow. Well, Abby, it's day 3. Why don't we bring up to speed? We went ahead and got our pieces cut. These pieces here are for the legs. These are the brackets for the legs. And these pieces right here are for our jack plate. Let's go ahead and get these things on the bench and get to drilling. Okay, we got our pieces here chalked up in the vise. I went ahead and center punched where we need to drill both the top and the bottom bolt. So we're going to go ahead and start small, drill the pilot hole, and then we'll drill that out. Then we'll do the same thing on this side. We'll be right back when we get it done. Abby, you over here taking a stretch after getting that finished? What do you think? Well, let's put this thing in the vise and show our viewers what we made. Okay, let's give it a test. I got the bolts tight enough to where it's not super wobbly, but loose enough to where it slides. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, these might be a little bit tighter. Oh, there you go. Now we got to get it on the boat. What do you think? We got the bracket on the boat. Looks pretty good. Let's go over and take a look. Well, here we go. We got it mounted. We decided to take this board off. Looks pretty good. I've got it adjusted up more than it probably ever will go up, just for the sake of argument. Put our foot on it and kicked around, and it's pretty solid. I do want to, like I said, make a brace that goes from up here to this gunnel here to tie in like that. That should give it a lot more strength. If after that we decide that this is too flexible still, we'll take a piece of angle aluminum and go from here all the way down to here and put a piece of board back there. That way this is all tied in as one. I had a 10-foot version of this boat down in Virginia Beach, and I took a piece of Trex board and put it down here and had flat bar steel, and it held a 9/8 just fine. So I think we can make this work. It looks pretty good. Well, tomorrow we're going to start working on the wheels. What do you think, Abby? Is the branding growing on you? It's the 4th day of working on this thing. We just wasted over an hour going to Tractor Supply to get some bolts we didn't get the first time, and they didn't have anything we needed in stock, so we're getting a late start today. Today we're going to go ahead and build the wheels for the transom. To do this, we're going to drill holes in these plates to bolt to the boat. Then we're going to drill the holes in here to put the legs that swing, and we're going to get the legs bolted on. So I'm going to go ahead and drill this off camera, and I'll bring you back for an update. Well, we got our pieces drilled. These two holes are to mount to the boat, and this single hole here is going to go through the leg and act as our pivot. Now we have to mark where to drill on our leg. To do that, the first thing we're going to do is to mark center. 1.5 inches, so 3/4 is center. So we're going to come in here, make a mark at 3/4 there, make a mark at 3/4 there. That's roughly center. Okay, now that we have our center mark, I'm going to cheat. I don't want this to go past this mounting plate. So I'm going to set that mounting plate on top, and I'm going to line the center of this mounting hole with the center of this piece and make a mark, just like that. We'll then go ahead and center punch and drill straight through. Okay, now we're going to take one of the brackets and a bolt and see how much of these corners we're going to have to cut off. We need to shave a little bit off of there. And I bet you it's probably about the same on the other side. Yep. So we're going to go ahead and just knock this edge off with a grinder, and we'll duplicate it on another one, and we're good to go. We got this side drilled up. Everything's cut, ground. We're ready to put it together. So we got these two fiber washers. They're known for being high in fiber to go in between these brackets and the leg. We got this bolt, this nut. Let's go ahead and put it together. So first we'll start by putting this bolt through that hole. We'll put our fiber washer on. We'll put our other fiber washer on. We'll slide that plate on. Now my bolts are slightly too short. I originally wanted machine washers on either side, but I don't think we need it on this application. So now we're going to go ahead and tighten this thing up to where it barely holds this up. More. Too much. I think I'll put a little bit more on it. Okay. I like that. I like the way that feels. We have this pin, and this pin, when this leg is down, will go through this hole, like so, locking it in position. Well, Abby, I think it's about time we call it a day. Why don't we show the people what we got here? Here's one of the units. I don't have a 5/8 axle bolt. I didn't get that because I wasn't sure whether it was 5/8 or 3/4 with the wheel that I bought. But yeah, basic concept. It's looking good. We got a little grocery list here to get. We'll go ahead and do that tomorrow. And we'll see you then. Well, hello, Abby. How are you doing today? You ready to put these wheels on the Brandon? You don't look happy at all today. You okay? You want to say something? Okay. Is it because it's named Brandon? Okay, we got our completed wheels and brackets back here. I don't know if we could build these cheaper than you can buy them on Amazon, but I almost bet we used better material. So the first thing we're going to do is grind the heads off these rivets and pull these handles off. They're already loose anyway. And then we'll go ahead and bolt them up. Wow, this thing's really coming along. We've got our wheels bolted on. We've got our jack plate bolted on. We do need to cut a piece of wood so the motor has something to clamp onto and bolt it into the jack plate. We also need to take it off and silicone the bolts. But before I do that, I want to build the brace that goes between the top to this side to make sure that I think it's going to be strong enough. Because like I said, this boat's probably not designed to have an 8-horse on it. But we're going to do it. So anyway, we'll finish this up tomorrow. What do you think, Abby? Well, Abby, you want to do that today? Whoa. What do you think? You want to play, don't you? You can't abuse your fans like that. However, to do that, we're going to have to cut a little notch at the bottom so it doesn't hit the transom so bad. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and we'll be right back. Abby, are you ready for the big unveil? Shazam! We got our tie-ins done. We got our handles remounted. Our jack plate siliconed in. And we got our Minn Kota 27-pound thrust trolling motor on here. We lowered the jack plate a little bit to what's probably a more realistic running height. Looks pretty good. I'd say it turned out pretty good. Well, it's 30 degrees outside, windy and rainy. We're not going to go out there and test this. We're going to wait till it's warmer. We'll get it all cleaned up. There's a couple leaks we got to fix, but other than that, we're ready to test. Come here, Abby. Let's have some real talk. Now, we feel like we should make some sort of disclaimer on this video that the intent of this video is for entertainment purposes and to demonstrate various fabrication techniques. We do not recommend that you try this on your John boat. However, we have years of experience modifying things. We always recommend that you follow your local laws. With that being said, don't hesitate to like the video, leave a comment below, and share it with all your friends. And we'll see you on the next episode of Abby Normal Garage.